Today's episode contains email conversations with 6 different advance fee scammers. At the outset, I thought this was going to be an episode of the scammers who dumped me, but as you'll see toward the end, I ran across a couple of scammers who really had a hard time letting me go. Let's go scambaiting. Dr. Donald Benson, Director of the Foreign Remittance Department of the UBA, that's the United Bank for Africa, emailed me about my winning prize / inheritance fund of $5 million, which would be supplied to me on a prepaid ATM card because of some previous problem releasing it. That is, this is a scam written to try to hook people who may already have been victims of a similar previous scam. As is often the case, there was a choice of different couriers on offer, each with different costs and timescales, and of course a request for my personal information. You know, the kind of information you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I replied, I don't know why you're sending me this or what it's about. Please explain. The scammer wrote back with more or less the same information repeated in a different format, with the explanation that this was conducted through email and it was selected randomly, and my email address was lucky to be among the winner of the lottery, together with another list of options and prices. I asked, how was it randomly? Also, I don't understand the numbers. The scammer replied, my friend Manuel, it was conducted randomly through our email system here in the office. Not only your email, but many emails, and it happened that your email address was one of the lucky winner for this Nobel Prize. It's conducted by a United Nations organisation, just the singular United Nation. I said, how does that work? I don't think my email system has random, only do and do not do. Sorry for the diversion, but this is interesting and perhaps important. The scammer responded to say, please, I have many beneficiaries here to attend, not only you. If you're ready to receive your funds, you can get back to me and follow my instructions so that you will receive your funds, thanks. I asked, how is it that there are so many beneficiaries? It's amazing. Donald Benson, however, was only interested in the scam and said, once you're ready, you can get back to me ASAP. I tried several times to rekindle the conversation, but the scammer did not reply anymore. Oh well, let's move on. The Reverend Peter Johnson wrote to me about my ATM card worth $1.2 million, which I had to deal with urgently because of some keeping fee of $65 per day. I replied, Dear Peter Johnson, my name is Richard Member. How can I help you?
Back in the day when I first rode into this town, I guess I wasn't ready. Folks used to just jerk me around, and in those days I guess I was just too soft. Come a time, things had to change. One morning in the woods I decided a man's gotta be hard on himself. Real hard. Stand up. Yep. Tall and straight. Well, maybe with a little curve to the left. It weren't always so, but present day I'm a proud, upstanding member of my community. Anyone try and rub me up the wrong way now? Well, let's just say they're gonna find them a real stiff welcome. Name of William P.P. Todger. Folks these days mostly call me Big Willie. This is my story.
But I just got a reply from someone calling themselves Mike Cole, asking for the $65 via Western Union or MoneyGram. Then, oddly, another copy of the original scam email from a different email address, but again claiming to be Reverend Peter Johnson. So I just asked, what happens next? Same email back from Mike Cole, so I asked, what happened to Peter Johnson? But apparently Peter Johnson have travelled out of the country, and that was the end of this conversation. Again, I tried, but no further replies. Next, Peter Edwards wanted to give me $2.3 million for the help of orphanage homes / the needy in my location to fulfil his wish on Earth. Apparently I could keep 50% of the money for myself, but of course he wanted my personal details. You know, the kind of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I just replied, not Edwards, Johnson. But that didn't work. No reply at all. Carol Perez, Director General of the United States Foreign Matters Office, or maybe Oscar Joe Williams, wrote about an overdue payment of $9.5 million, which had been the subject of signal received from their investigative team. Apparently Payment Officer Johnson Scott would attend to me. I asked, before we proceed further, could you please clarify whether Johnson is your first name or Scott is your last name? Johnson Scott replied to confirm that Johnson was his first name, together with some very standard scam blurb, mostly underlining the urgency of the whole thing, with an instruction to contact Roland Norwood at First National Bank. I just asked Johnson, this is very confusing, why is that so? Johnson just sent me the same email template again. I replied, that's the same as you said before, still confusing, why? Johnson asked, why did you say that? Were you able to communicate with the bank manager? I replied, I don't even know that there is one because this is confusing. No reply, so I asked, what happened with where the situations went? Without even being prompted, the supposed First National Bank contact emailed me with a template email asking for what I think may be possibly the longest and most comprehensive list of personal details that you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I said, I think I already replied to this. They said, reconfirm, please. I said, I think I already did this. They replied, not yet received. I said, please check again. They said, forward your details to me. I asked, did you check again? But there was and would be no further reply. So those were the scammers that dumped me. Now we're going to take a look at two where I actually had to dump them. One from the Philippines and one from somewhere in Africa. The first one went like this. The email was from someone called Richard Paulo Santiago, or maybe Tom Ellis, or maybe just business proposal. And it said, I offer my hand of friendship and believe that you will accept me with good heart. I saw your email and was pushed to contact you and see how best we can assist each other. I am Mr. Richard Paulo Santiago, a banker by profession working in Banco de Oro, Philippines. I am having an important business discussion I wish to share with you, which I believe will interest you because it is in connection with your state in your country, which is fascinating because I haven't said which country I live in, and we both are going to benefit from it. One late Mr. Benson, a citizen of your country, who was in gold business, and he was an importer and exporter of both new and old cars, trucks, mainly from Germany, USA and Japan, and also a business consultant with Shell Company here in the Philippines, has a fixed deposit with my bank in 2005, valued at $8.5 million. Of course, those are just United States singular dollars. The due date for the deposit was the last 22nd of January 2017. Sadly, Benson was among the victims in the recent air crash from Dubai to Russia. Late Mr. Benson did not mention any next of kin, heir, when the account was opened, and Mr. Benson was not married and had no children. And of course this is just the standard embezzlement of an intestate account scam. I replied, okay. The scammer responded, I hope you read and understand the content of my suggestion, and, my dear brother, I just need your help to offer you as close relatives of Mr. Benson, because I have not been able to find family members since the years of his death. No one filed for the claim. I assure you now that my proposal is 100% risk-free and will be dealt with legally. You will be the only one to contact the bank and then make inquiries as we proceed. You must know that it is not always compulsory to have a relationship with the person before you become next of kin. No, I don't think that's true. Considering the research I have made, I must tell you that you have the same last name as Mr. Benson. I am a banker married with children, so I will not involve myself in anything that will destroy the future image of my lovely family in society. I am a good Christian and an honest man. I only engage in this transaction so I can give my family a better life, and you have assured me that once the deal is done and the bank transfers the money in your account, you won't betray me and manage your account for me. I'll be glad if we can both trust each other and work together to achieve this goal. Thank you. And you can ask questions on the deal if you wish to before we proceed. Well, that's good, because I intend to. I replied to the first of these emails to confirm I did read it, but I do not understand it. The scammer replied, please go back, read it to your understanding and get back to me. What language do you understand better? I said, okay, I read it again. In fact, 3 times now. I still do not understand the part where it said various things. Can you explain it in a different way? The scammer tried to clarify. Late Mr. Benson, who is a citizen of your country, my unspecified country, died in the recent airplane crash. He was an exporter and importer of both old and new cars from Germany, USA, Japan. And of course this is just a reword of the original email about Mr. Benson. I replied, Benson, Benson, Benson. This is no easier to read than before. They said, with the tips I have given you now, I'm sure you will read it and understand it more better, or if you don't, please tell me the language you understand better for me to translate it and send it to you, thank you. And asked, dear brother, what language do you understand better? I said, English is fine. I just wish you could explain it more clearly, without all the Benson this and Benson that. It's quite rude. The scammer explained, the man Benson is late and he is from your country and you have the same surname with him. He has a fixed deposit of $8,500,000 with our bank here in Philippines, and he works with the Shell Company here in Philippines, but he is dead and has no relative or next of kin to his account, and he was not married or have any children. Since you have the same last name with him, I am seeking your corporation to work with me for us to take this morning and share it 50-50 to both parties, since our bank management don't know he is dead in the recent aircraft. And they went on to say, please try to read and understand this, or you give to someone who is more intelligent than you to explain more better to you, and please make this message confidential, thank you. I counter-explained, listen, there's nobody more intelligent than me to explain more better. Do you even realise how ridiculous that sounds? And please, stop with the Benson. It's so very rude that it sickens me to have to write it in explanation to you. Since the overthrow of the bad scientist villain Benson Hawking, we do not use the word in polite company any longer. Choose a different word or name, or use the term B-word instead. Thank you for your understanding. The scammer said, I'm very sorry if you misunderstand me, dear brother. I was just trying for you to understand the content of my suggestion. Well, it is better we proceed. As time goes on, you will definitely understand my business offer to you. But you have to promise me that when the deal is done and the bank transfer the money into your account, you won't betray me and manage your account for me. Also note you will follow my instruction to avoid any mistake on this deal. I just need your help to offer you as close relatives of Mr. Benson, because I have not been able to find family members since the years of his death. I said, please stop using the B word. The scammer replied, okay, dear brother, but the B word is the name of the person you will become his next of kin, and all of the documents we are geared to use will contain the B word. Please, you have to ignore the B word and focus on the gold. I said, thank you, I greatly appreciate your understanding that the B word is incredibly rude in my culture. I hope to never have to read it again. The scammer sent a templated email containing waffle about the transaction, requesting my personal details, you know, the kind of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet, and attaching some lovely fake ID. It's that new kind of ID where, even in a photo that's blurry and out of focus, the important details are crisp and clear. And, dear brother, kindly provide the required information for me to make the necessary changes on the bank system and prepare an application letter of inheritance which you will copy and send to the bank email address, asking them to transfer the money into your account as next of kin of Mr. B. But the first of those two emails had mentioned the B word again, so I replied, stop using the B word. It sickens me to the core. I thought we'd resolved this. The scammer tried to move on, saying, okay, dear brother, kindly provide the required details. Thanks. I asked, for the date of birth, do you need the date when I started being born or when I finished? They asked, when were you born? I said, what do you mean by that? It's not a simple question. I was quite a tall baby, you see. The scammer snapped, yes, I mean the date you started being born. I wasn't in the mood to make up a bunch of fake personal information to give them, so I diverted and said, I don't know why you would need this. Look, can we just get this business moving, please? I don't have time to waste, and I'm thinking of the gold. The scammer replied, yeah, you really have to provide all the necessary information for me to make some changes here in the bank system and use your information to prepare a letter of inheritance, which you will send to the bank email address for us to proceed. Well, we'll see about that. I answered, is there anything else we can be getting on with whilst I assemble this information? I feel like you've wasted a lot of my time already with that business about the B fellow earlier. The scammer said, dear brother, the next step is to prepare a letter of inheritance with your information for you to copy and send to the bank email address. I argued, I don't have the bank email address. You've not given it to me. The scammer somewhat unexpectedly sent me the address, and of course the bank is using Gmail because reasons, saying, dear brother, here's the bank email address, but you really need to forward your details to me for me to prepare the letter which you will send to the bank email address. This email and a few other details of the whole conversation make me suspect this scammer is fairly new to the game. I asked, copying in the supposed bank email address, why can't I just send it straight to them? The scammer replied, because you need to write it as a letter and it needs to be well written to make sure it will match with the information in the bank system as the next of kin of Mr. B. And before that, I need to make some necessary changes in the bank database as well. That sounds important. Let's ignore it. I said, are you sure? I think we should ask them as it would be simpler. I've copied them in on this email. The scammer argued, dear brother, you really have to follow my instructions, okay? We really need to send this to the bank today. I will arrange the documents and you will send them to the bank ASAP. We don't have to waste any more time, okay? But I said, I already emailed the bank. They asked, what exactly did you send to the bank? I confirmed, I sent an email. Happy to help. They asked, about what? I asked, how is this a question? They concluded, okay, let's see what the bank replies. I said, okay. Then the supposed bank contacted me saying, dear beneficiary, we have acknowledged your information sent to us, which confirms this is a template message as I sent no information. And we want to let you know that we have the account of your cousin here in our database with the deposit of $10,500,000, and the account has been inactive since 2017. Requesting to transfer the money into your account as next of kin, you need to pay the sum of $2,450 to activate the account and to forward your account details to have the funds transferred into your account. Thank you. Here is the account details where you make your payment and send a confirmation slip to us for proper verification. Western Union only. I replied, sorry, I didn't read any of that. Now with these email scams, sometimes the so-called bank is a more experienced senior scammer, distinct from the person handling first contact, but in this case it was revealed to be a solo operation, because the scammer wrote back, "Dear brother, the bank has approved you to be the next of kin of Mr. B, and they wants to transfer the funds into your account immediately, but you have to make a deposit of $2,450 to activate the account and make easy for them to transfer the money into the account. Please follow the instructions and make the payment immediately to enable the bank transfer the money into your account. Dear brother, do not betray me once the money been transferred into your account. Do well to let me know, and you share my own fund to me immediately." And "You have to make use of a Western Union account a bank forwarded to you and make the deposit of $2,450 to activate the account, and the bank will transfer the money to your account immediately you forward your account details to them. Please do this as soon as possible to avoid any illegal procedure." Except that both of these emails came from the fake bank's Gmail address, so the scammer clearly just forgot to switch hats before writing. Trying to recover from this error, the scammer then wrote from their own mailbox, "Dear brother, I saw what the bank sent to you through the bank email address, and I was able to write to you through the bank email address, which I deleted our conversation. Please follow the instructions properly and let me know when the bank has transferred the money onto your account, okay?" The fake bank then said, "Yes, this is about your late cousin Benson's account here in Manila, Philippines, with the sum of $10.5 million, which will be transferred to your account immediately." I replied, "Please do not use the word Benson in conversation with me. It is offensive." The bank replied, "Okay, dear brother, when are you making the payment to get your fund transferred to your account?" I confirmed, "Later." The bank said, "You have to make the deposit as soon as possible and forward your account details for us to process the transfer to your account immediately, thanks." I said, "Okay." "I don't want to." The bank asked, "I don't understand what you mean. You don't want what?" I clarified, "I don't want to send you money. You have to send it to me. You understand this, I hope." They explained, "Dear beneficiary, you have to activate the account before we can proceed to make a transaction on it because it has been deactivated since 2017. Do you understand that?" I said, "Okay." Getting a bit excited now, they replied, "We are waiting for your urgent payment as soon as possible to proceed with the transaction. Do well to use the Western Union account information provided below and send the payment receipt to here. Thank you." I said, "Okay. Please wait a little longer." They said, "We will wait for your urgent response with your payment slip as soon as possible. Thank you." I said, "Thank you. You may wait." They said, "Thanks for your cooperation, dear beneficiary. We await your payment slip to proceed in our database, thanks." And from the other email account, the scammer said, "Dear brother, what is the update? Have the bank transferred the funds into your account?" I asked, "Why would they? I've not transferred the fees or the activation amount." They demanded, "Dear brother, why haven't you made the deposit for the activation of the account for the bank to proceed in transferring the money into your account information which you will send to them? I already told you to follow the instructions of the bank property and as soon as possible." Well, this nagging is getting a bit annoying, so I replied, "Why do you keep asking this question? I'm not ready. I will contact you when I am ready." They argued, "What do you mean? We shouldn't have to delay on this transaction to avoid unnecessary protocol. I told you before now, have you written to the bank today? When am I expecting you to make the payment and receive our funds?" I said, "I'm not ready. Please wait until I'm ready." They replied, "Dear brother, you have to understand that we have no time to finish up this deal. How long will it take you to be ready?" I responded, "You have to understand that I'm not ready." They asked, "Why? What is the reason of you not being ready now?" I said, "Why would you ever need to know that? How rude." They pleaded, "Because we need to finish up this deal and share the funds anytime sooner, so please be clear to me. Anyway, I'll be waiting for your urgent response anytime, but you have to be very fast about it. Thank you." I said, "Yes, please do wait." They replied, "Okay, dear brother, I'll wait, but you have to promise me you'll get the deal done as soon as possible." I confirmed, "As soon as I care." They asked, "What do you mean?" I counter-asked, "Why do you ask?" They explained, "Because I have to know whatever thing is going on in this deal and when you are getting the deal done, okay?" I said, "Okay." They replied, "So can I just know when you have in mind to get this deal done, my good brother?" I said, "Again? You're asking this again?" They repeated, "Yeah, because I really want to know when the fund will be released. Thank you." Now, we could probably go on like this for longer, but let's try a different direction. I said, "I'm not enjoying your pushy and demanding persistence on this matter. I think you should know that. I have decided instead that I will deal with a different benefactor, Mr. Clay Jayton, who just emailed me regarding the unclaimed legacy of his client, the widow of an African engineer, which amounts to 12.5 million cubic dollars. There will be no further need for you to contact me on this matter, okay?" We'll take a look at what happened next after this short break to look at, well, not exactly a frequently asked question, but certainly something I've seen a lot of people say, which is, you can't scam an honest person. The basis of this is that scams offer their victims a false opportunity for profit by illegal or immoral means, such as the fraudulent acquisition of a deceased estate, or the illicit siphoning of government overspend, or the secret recovery of a box of money disguised as inconspicuous gold bars, or that they appeal to the greed of the victim by simple nature of offering a large reward for minimal effort, and it's thus implied that the victims of these scams deserve the pitfall they will encounter. Now, it's true, a lot of scams are like that. In fact, every one of the scams featured in this video are appealing to dishonesty or greed or both. Even the one about the charity bequest for orphanages and the needy offers the victim 50% of $2.3 million. So clearly even this has an element of appeal to greed. So I'm definitely not going to argue with the fact that scams do exist to try to lure people who have dishonest or greedy or selfish tendencies. But is it true that you can't scam an honest person? Well, what about romance scams, which prey on the loneliness of the victim? Often they're offering nothing more than a supposedly loving relationship with an attentive and caring partner. It's a lie, but it's a lie that appeals to loneliness, not dishonesty. Or what about scams that tell you your account has been compromised and you must act immediately to preserve your security? These are appealing to fear and self-preservation, not dishonesty. Or scams that open with a notification about a missed parcel or a medical appointment or a quarantined email message, or scams that are disguised as other bits of legitimate business. These appeal to the routine of everyday life. Or how about scams that appear to be job offers? These are trying to trap people who just want to work for a living. That's not dishonesty. And quite apart from that, what about when the scam technically does offer huge rewards, but the scam victim doesn't respond out of dishonesty or greed? For example, I can think of at least 2 real-world examples I've seen of scam victims who had learning difficulties that resulted in them being, from my perspective, a little bit too honest. And these are just a few examples. There are many more angles of attack that scammers might use to try to get a foot in the door. Okay, but why does any of this matter, and why am I continually trying to debunk things that other people assert about scams and scam victims? Why can't I just let it lie? Well, I happen to think it's important because scams are a threat, and misidentifying the scope of that threat just seems foolish to me. If you believe you can't scam an honest person, and you also believe you are an honest person, you sort of just declared yourself invulnerable, except invulnerability is not a safe thing to feel when it's based on misapprehension of the facts. For me, little pithy sayings like "you can't scam an honest person" are mechanisms that I think tend to halt the thinking process. We need to not halt the thinking process. I also don't like the fact that this saying automatically assigns blame to victims either. Not a very healthy mindset, in my opinion. So I'll concede that this is true. You probably can't always easily scam an honest person if the scam contains a blatantly obvious dishonest proposal. But that doesn't sound nearly so pithy, does it? And outside of that, lots of honest people can and do get scammed for reasons that are neither dishonesty nor greed. Anyway, back to the scambaiting. To recap, I had been telling the scammer to wait, and the scammer had been telling me to move, and I had hinted I was about to pay money to a different scammer called Clay Jayton. The scammer asked, "Dear brother, do you really want to abandon the deal you've already won?" I said, "I think so. Clay Jayton is talking about a larger sum, bigger in all 3 dimensions. They argued, "Why can't you finish up this you have stated already? Besides, you can use some money to pursue the bigger one. No money is waste when you have the 2 deals done. You have become a millionaire. Think wisely. How I wish I was in your position right now. I suggest you get this one done first and become financially comfortable before moving to another once, dear brother." I suggest picking the larger fruit first. The scammer raged. "Well, don't blame me if I should find someone else to finish up this deal since you want to abandon it." I said, "Okay." Then I left it a few hours, and then I said, "I've just discovered that I was completely wrong about Mr. Clay Jayton. I am sorry for this error." The scammer replied, "The earlier you realise what you're doing, the better for you. So when are you getting out deal done?" I explained, "I meant that his name's actually Jay Clayton. I apologise for this error." The scammer asked, "What do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying. And should I go ahead and find someone else who will just make the payment and the funds will be transferred into his account without wasting any time? Remember, no information is required anymore. Everything is settled. All we need to do now is activate the account and them have your money." I confirmed, "Probably you should do that or something. I'm going to go ahead with Jay, not Clay. I just wanted to make it clear that his name was Clayton, not Jayton." The scammer warned me, "Do not get scammed," and at the end run back to me. I laughed. "Scammed? Who's going to get scammed? Clay assures me it's 101% risk-free. Jay. They said it will be late when you get back to me. Don't say I didn't warn you." Now, I love doing this. The scammer now has to try to warn me about not getting scammed without alerting me that they themselves are trying to scam me in the same way. Lovely little bit of tension. I replied, "Warn me about what? You haven't warned me about anything." They replied, "About the deal you're about to focus on. I'm very sure it's a scam deal." "Well, how could you possibly be so sure?" I asked, "Really? How can you say that? How can you tell?" Thinking on the hoof, the scammer said, I'm telling you the honest truth. A friend of mine got the same email about the same amount you're talking about, and she showed it to me, but I wasn't interested to read more about it. That is the way the scam people around. I never asked you to stop, but don't say I didn't warn you about this. And, dear brother, you're a good man, and this is the only reason why I'm telling you this. I'm not trying to deceive you or advise you to finish up our deal first, but I'm telling you the truth. That deal has already been done a long time ago, and this one is a scam. I asked, if I were to ask Clay Jayton whether your deal was a scam, what do you suppose he might say? Sorry, I mean Jay Clayton. They dodged that question and said, if you wish to continue, no problem, but be rest assured. You will lose your money, time and energy. It is very much better to get a little than to lose. I resolved, I will ask Clay what he thinks, if you won't tell me. Sorry, I mean Jay. The scammer tried to turn it around, saying he will definitely say yes to convince you to follow him and lose your money, but I am not telling you to give up on his deal. It will be better for you to witness it with your eye, and by then you will believe what I'm telling you. And then promised, I am speaking to you with the grave of my late father. I swear that deal is fake and scam. So I asked, what about the deal you're offering? Will you swear to that also? And the scammer assured me, I swear with the Almighty God I am serving, and swear with the last drop of my blood and my father's grave, my transaction I offered you is real, legit, and the process is very clear. Well, okay. Then the scammer wrote, my dear brother, there is nothing to be scared of, because a man of caliber can never indulge himself into anything that will not have a solemn conclusion, or anything that may bring shame to my family, considering my age and level in my community. And I have first investigated properly into the transaction, and I found out there is no risk involved. As you follow my instruction and keep everything as top secret, my good brother, you already know there is only one step forward, and everyone will sit back and enjoy the fun till will be transferred into your account. Remember, the total amount in the account which is going to be transferred to you is this number here, which is not anything we've seen before. All you need right now is to make the deposit to activate the account, and we all will be happy at once, and the fund will be in your account immediately. I'm 100% sure about that. Well, I'm 100% sure that that's a different amount to what you originally promised, but I said, okay. The scammer, I think hoping he had sold the deal and could now close it, said, I'm very sure I've made myself clear to you, and we really have to be in good terms, dear brother. Don't get me wrong if I ask what is the next step you're taking in our deal. Like I always say, it's very important we finish up this deal without wasting any time at all. I asked, you want me to specify the next step? They said, yes, dear brother. I want to know when and how you plan to make the payment and activate the account to enable the bank to proceed with our transaction. Oh, right. I confirmed. When I'm ready. They said, I'll be waiting to get a positive response from you. Anytime you do well to let me know as soon as you take any step. I replied, okay, please wait. They said, okay, dear brother. I said, okay. Besides, Mr. Jayton said he was 200% sure it was legitimate and risk-free, which exceeds your 100%, I think. Also, he swore on God, blood, a grave, a man, a plan, and a canal. I mean, Mr. Clayton. The scammer was starting to lose it a bit and replied, and what rubbish is that? What does it mean? Please, I'm not here to crack jokes. I am serious in whatever thing I do. If you want to move on with whatever rubbish you're talking about, then move, and don't you write to me about this scammer of yours anymore, okay? I've done my side. It's left for you to choose who to follow. Dem. Don't write anymore. Okay. So does that mean I should not contact you, even if I am completely ready? The scammer responded, what do you mean by okay? You have to clear me now or never. What is the next step you are moving with me or the scammer? Then if you're ready, now go ahead and make the payment. Let's claim our money, or if you're waiting for something, just let me know when you will activate the account and let's share our money. Case closed, and all this drama will stop. The drama will stop. Will it? Really? I said, I'm not ready. They replied, when will you be ready? And where are you now? Which state are you in right now? And why are you not ready now? I need a positive response from you now. I confirmed, it's difficult to say, but please be rest assured that when I am ready, I will be ready. The scammer ranted, why are you seriously making things difficult? Here, tell me when you will be ready to complete this deal, period. Or you don't know when you will be ready. And tell me what is holding you from getting the deal done at this time. Also the particular state you're in right now, for me to know who I'm dealing with, period. Make everything clear to me. I clarified, my state is one of gentle calm. How is your state? Also, why do you ask? This apparently wasn't the right answer, as the scammer said, that wasn't the only question I asked you, and your answer didn't answer my question. I said, what's the name of the state you are right now? I argued I definitely answered that. The scammer said, what you answered is no answer to my question. I said, what's the name of the state you are right now? And when are you going to be ready to complete our deal? What is holding you back from completing our transaction this time? And that will be the last time I'll ask you those questions. Will it though? If you don't answer me now, you're on your own. I asked, why do you ask all these questions anyway? What has this to do with the gold? The scammer explained, because I need to who I have business with. I can't just do business with a total stranger, not when we have become business partner. We really have to know ourselves, and secondly, I need to know when you're finishing our deal. I said, I'll contact you when I'm ready. The scammer replied, so rude. What is the name of the state you're in right now? I answered, wakefulness, I think. Again, apparently not the right answer, because what is the meaning of this? What an insult. Where is the state you are located right now, and when will you be ready to complete my deal? Just a clear answer, and you are turning up and down. What rubbish. This will be the last time I write to you on this. Then if you don't give me a clear answer, then f*** off, period. Pretty aggressive, but I have a rule. Well, maybe more like a card I like to play. Respond to aggression not with compliance, but with righteous indignation. I said, I don't understand your question. Also, I don't understand why you don't understand my answer. It's most perplexing. Also, I thought you already said you would stop writing to me yesterday. Do you still want me to contact you when ready or not? The scammer demanded, that is the same question I'm asking you. Let me ask you again. When will you be ready to finish up the deal? Secondly, what is the name of your country or what is the name of your state? Simple question. I said, okay, thank you. I'll be in touch when I'm ready. Please stand by. The scammer said, okay, fine. What is the name of your country? I am from Philippines, so where are you from? I explained, I'm not from the Philippines. Is this a problem? They replied, then where are you from? I said, look, I thought you said you were going to stop emailing. Please, can you do that? They said, you are very stupid to say such rubbish. I am working with you and you don't want me to know where you are from. Are you in Sean? Well, you know everything about me, even my bank ID and bank number. Are you okay? Again, time for a little righteous indignation. I said, all of this continual interruption to read your emails is just delaying the process of my getting ready. Please, may I have a short break in which you don't email me twice every few minutes? Apparently, I may not, because, look, if you don't tell me where you are and when you will get ready to finish up the deal, don't contact me again. Do you understand? Tell me what I really need to know, and you have your time to get ready and finish up our deal, or are you planning to finish up the deal behind my back or something? What is difficult for you to tell me the country you're located in? What? But I said, as discussed, I will not contact you again except when I'm ready. Unless you desire that it should be otherwise. The scammer said, tell me the country you're located in and tell me when you will make the payment to activate the account. I explained, I don't live in the country. I've often thought I would like to, but I hear that access to local facilities can be a problem. The scammer continued, it will not be a problem to this transaction. I just want to know where you live and when our deal will be done. I said, okay, when I'm ready, I'll let you know these details. Getting rather impatient now, the scammer demanded, okay, when will you be ready? Today, tomorrow, this weekend, next week, next 2 weeks, next month, or never? Please answer me as I really need to know. And remember, we have to finish up this deal as soon as possible. I assured the scammer, I do understand the urgency. And then finally, I said, okay, I'm ready now. Please confirm your state. And I do actually mean finally, because at this point I ghosted the scammer and didn't write or reply anymore. The scammer, of course, was not finished and wrote 8 further emails. But before we get to those, let me show you a different scam conversation that had been running in parallel with this one. Then we'll take them over the finish line together. This other one was from Mr. Ben James, or perhaps Dr. Alexis Ben, or maybe DHL, or the IMF, or the UBA for Africa. That is the United Bank for Africa, or UBA squared for short. The email reads, the IMF is compensating all the scam victims and your email address was found as one of the victims. We have concluded to effector your own payment though. ATM Visa card $5,000 twice daily until the total sum of $17.2 million is completely paid to you. We now need your information as to where we will be delivering your ATM card, such as receiver's name, address, phone number. You know, the sort of information you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I replied, okay. The scammer went straight to work. So you're already receiving your package funds, then send us your address with also your phone number here. But I said, I think I already did that. I sent them to the Johnson. The scammer replied, yes, we received your home address, but your phone number is not there. And how will you send the delivery fee, which is only $220 only? So you can be able to buy iTunes card or Steam Wallet card. But we didn't receive your home address, so try to send it here, okay? I said, you seem to be confused. In one email you say you have received my address, then you say you have not. May I suggest that you consult the Johnson once again in order to resolve this? The scammer, though, said, I am Johnson, so send your address here, please, with also your phone number so that Mr. Ben James can text to you and deliver your package funds, okay? And how will you send the needed fee, which is only $220 only? Please answer me. Yes, but you're not the Peter of Johnson, are you? I inquired. The scammer assured me, that is me, so send your phone number as I said, okay? But I asked, then who is Dr. Alexis Ben? They said, that is my boss. I asked, why are you using his email? To which the answer was, because it's our company email, so how will you send the needed fee, which is only $220? Oh, okay, I expect they work in the same office. Just deduct it from the fund. But the scammer argued, if you're ready to receiving your package funds, then send us the $220 by iTunes card so that you will receive your package funds. Okay, well, please deduct the $200 from the fund. But the scammer wasn't paying attention and replied, the fee is for delivery fee, so that is the only thing that's holding your package funds, and you need to send it. As I told you before, the company can allow me to deliver, okay? I said, take it out of the fund. I will not tell you a fourth time. They answered, so you are not understand what I am saying since. I asked, since when? But the scammer just said, I told you before I can deliver the package funds. You have to send the needed fee, which is only $220. So, do you understand it? Well, no. I do not understand it. It makes no sense. Therefore, I refuse to understand it. I think I will discuss this with the Johnson. They replied, that fee is the only problem that holds your package funds, okay? That is indeed a problem, I agreed. Once you send the needed fee, I will start coming immediately, so try to send me your number so that Mr. Johnson will text you, okay? As discussed, that is a problem. The scammer repeated, I told you to send your number so that Mr. Johnson can know how much he will remove from the $220 for you, okay? I explained, my phone does not have a number in this month. So the scammer continued pressing for the money. So if you want to send the iTunes card, then you have to buy it 3 cards. 100 have to be tow cards and 20 card, which is 3 cards. But I don't want to do that. They argued, that is the only way you can receive your package funds, okay? I said, okay. So try and send the cards that I will deliver your package funds to you, and I will like to know by what time you will send the cards. But, as I mentioned, I do not want to do that. But that fee is what hold your package funds, so try to send it so that I will deliver immediately. Understood, I acknowledged. So by what time will you send the cards so that I will deliver as soon as possible you send they? But, as I keep saying, I do not want to do that. So how will you send the needed fee? Tell me. I suppose I won't. So that means you're not ready to receiving your package funds, right? I mean, probably, I suppose. So the scammer said, once you're ready, just let me know. Perfect, okay. The scammer warned, you're the one hold your package funds. But look, I told you I would let you know when I'm ready. The scammer asked, so how much I with at this moment, so that I will tell the if they can help you out with the amount you have right now, okay? I have to confess I didn't really understand the question, although I didn't try very hard to understand the question, so I just answered 8.5. The scammer replied, you mean $85? Because I want to tell the company right now, so reply me immediately. I said 7.5. But the scammer asked, you said you have $85, right? Wrong. But I've told the company what you said, so the company said you should use $70 to buy Steam Wallet card. And this is how you will receive it, 51 card and 21 card, okay? Look, but I don't want to do that. But that is how the company said you should send it. I said, yes, but I do not want to. That is the only way you can send the fee, okay? The scammer threatened. I said, okay. We just want to help you so that and send the cards so that I will deliver on time, okay? I said, okay. The scammer asked, so by what time will you send the cards, and which country are you right now? I just want to know if you can make it today, so I will deliver today. But I told you I will contact you when I'm ready. So will you send it today, they inquired. I said, no. Why do you have to say so, they asked. Why do you ask? I asked back. Later that day I asked, you said I should let you know when I'm ready, correct? The scammer quickly responded, so will you send the cards right now? I said, I'm not ready. But why asking me? I was just checking. Why can't you send the $70 so that I will deliver? I said, I'm not ready. I see it, the scammer concluded. The following day I said, hi. Yes, have you buy the cards? The scammer replied. I said, no. The next day I asked, hi, do you need to know when I'm ready? Have you buy the cards? The scammer responded. I said, no, I'm not ready. They replied, so are you emailing me since you're not ready? I said, I'm just asking you if you want to be informed immediately that I am ready, or something else. The following afternoon I said, hi. The scammer asked, have you buy the cards? I said, no, I'm not ready. Then why are you emailing me? The scammer complained. Just trying to be sociable, I said. Then, finally, I said to the scammer, okay, I'm ready now. Can you reconfirm what to do next and last in reverse alphabetical order, please? And like I did with the other scammer, after this confirmation that I was ready, I just stopped replying. Both of these endgames played out together. This one continued like this. This is the only fee you will send, so go to the store and ask they about the iTunes card or Steam wallet and buy it and send it here after you scratch it. So I hope that you still remember the amount of the fee, right? I'm waiting for you to send the card so that I will deliver. So you can't email me again? Why can't you reply me back since? And lastly, what has told you to not send the card since? And I hope that you still remember the amount of the fee. Then this scammer stopped trying, but we still need to look at the other scammer from the Philippines. To recap, I had also said I was ready now and then stopped replying. The scammer said, "Dear brother, can we proceed now that you're ready?" I'm very sorry for the late reply. I was very tired and fall asleep. Can we proceed now? All you really need to do now is mention your state for me. You already know that I'm from Makati, Philippines. After then, you proceed to use the Western Union account information the bank sent you and make the payment to activate the account and write to be bank with your payment receipt and your bank details immediately. You make the payment for proper confirmation to proceed in transferring the money as soon as possible. I will be waiting for your urgent response. Thank you. Dear brother, why are you keeping silence? I haven't got any information from you since then. What is going on? Dear brother, what is the update? Have the bank transferred the money into your account? Dear brother, what is going on? Have you made the payment to the bank? Please let me know if you've got an out fund. And lastly, why are you so stupid, heartless, selfish and ungrateful? I've been trying to reach you to know what is going, and you fool has been keeping silence on me. I'm actually getting this rubbish from you because I offered you a deal that will automatically change your miserable life. And let me tell you, if you decide to pay the bank take all the fund alone, God will judge you. And that, at least for now, was the end of the communication. So most of the time, scammers dump me. But this time, I had to be the one to move on. Although I do stand ready and waiting to be judged. I hope this has been fun. Thanks for watching, stay safe from scams, and I hope to see you again soon.